And the air was just right for Skyrim. Actually, finally cooled off. Yeah, we know there's no first-person paraglider in there anymore. We got rid of that. We tried it. We couldn't make it work. Pounded on it for a little while. Maybe I'll come back to that later. It would be nice to see the paraglider and skydive in first person. But it's okay if we just do it in third. So either or. Fat just asked me, he says, I said, you know, I'm on playtime. He's like, this late? I'm like, yep. That's right, Fat. We're doing it this late, buddy. Because I've been stuck jury duty all day. Which means I didn't get a chance to play. No electronic devices.
Nothing's stopping me.
When you're doing jury duty. Eat my daggers, buddy. And your little friend, too. Oh, he's respawning.
That was silly.
So I'm guessing Fat's not showing up. He's telling me have fun. Must be nap time.
Waste of a lock.
Yep, the air is just right for Skyrim. Yeah, Fat didn't seem too interested in coming in. He always says, oh, well, send me a text when you're going to stream. So I texted him and said, playtime. He goes, this late? And I'm like, yup. Been stuck in jury duty all day, dude. Of course I want to play. What were we doing? Oh, I know what we're doing. We're going there. We need the crown. Because we never did complete that. Let's go to Tolvan's cave. That's Robber's Refuge. This should be Tolvan's over here.
All right.
What FPS glider thing seems interesting? Oh, first person glider thing. I don't know. He's got it set up for... Oh, that's a different temple. He's got it set up to work with magical jumping and to work. He's got another option that works with the air dash. So I'm not using magical jumping or air dash because magical jumping had a problem with magical jumping, or excuse me, it's not magical jumping that I'm talking about. What's the one I'm talking about? Jump attack. That's what he's got it set up to work with. Jump attack has an issue with magical jumping. So when I was left with, okay, well, which one do I want? Because it's one or the other. The two don't want to play nice together on my game. I chose magical jumping over jump attack. But I don't think, I mean, he's got versions that are supposed to work without it. But again, I'm doing a manual install, so maybe I'm missing some files somewhere that should be installing that aren't installing. Because the F mod will, or the full mod will install like the meshes and the the correct ESP
Out of sight.
and all
Out of
that kind
mind.
of stuff. But it doesn't install and everything SKSE. But it doesn't really install anything that goes in the Nemesis folder. So that needs to be, you know, chosen manually and installed manually. That sounds like a bar. That's a big bar. That's a huge Arctic bear. So is that why you didn't install Jump Attack? Or did you even try Jump Attack? I'm just curious. That's a griffin. Oh, Chimera. Excuse me. I don't want to take all that. Give me all that. Oh, I kind of want to do this, but I kind of want to show you something interesting too. So we're going to throw a save right here. We'll come back to this. I'm going to show you something interesting. I don't know if it conflicts with better jumping. It conflicted with, yeah, magical jumping. So we're actually going to quit out of this for just a second. Because we're going to look at this. Do you want to see what I did to this? This is what I did to this. Not nearly what I've done to Skyrim. But pretty darn interesting nonetheless. Also, I did, I got the patch and widescreen says one or more plugins could not find the correct versions of the master files they depend on. Errors may occur. Uh-oh, warnings text. Well, let's check out the warnings text. I was messing around with this, so this may be a problem. One of the files, female endural helm 01 ESP, is dependent on has changed since the last save. She's got red guard faces. Okay, so endural. Was it female endural? We'll just get rid of that. And Shiska, red guard faces. Did it say which one? The try ESP. So give me just a minute. All right. Yeah, that's kind of what I found also, but Morrowind, it's just about the nostalgia. I mean, I haven't even really started to play through yet. I have to start like a fresh game. Well, I guess I could start one of the save games I have, but I don't know if it would load. I don't know. Let's find out. Day 87. She's pretty badass. Do not match the ones used. Save game. Yeah, let's see if it'll load. Unable to find region, Firemoth region. Yeah, sure. Gargoyle wings. We're missing a bunch of stuff. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to start just a brand new game because those saves are ancient. What's up, Gears? What are we doing? We're loading up Morrowind, but like a pretty modded Morrowind, and we're gonna start a new game and see if it'll actually play. Yeah, this is we're having a little bit of a problem with our widescreen.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
So it's kind of split.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay?
We'll have to
Wake
see
up.
if it displays correctly.
Stand up.
Hey, it actually
There
displayed
you go.
correctly.
You were dreaming. What's your name?
Our name is Raevyn. Oh, you don't tell me you're not gonna. Oh my god. Alright, well, there are a few things I need to fix with that. And the first one would probably be in my INI file. So I think I'll do that off stream, and we will come back to that, and we will play a game that we can actually play. Yeah, he does have hair. And a different tattoo on his face, not the scar. So basically, I'm using better bodies, and also there's a bunch of face mods. Change all the faces out. And probably dump this up there because we're not going to install it. All right, Skyrim, fire up. Come on. Come on, baby, you can do it. Well, that's promising. It says Skyrim Special Edition down on the bottom. Going chug. Chug, 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 chug. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. So yeah, I'm on 498p of the binaries. Yeah, I will need to mess around a little bit with some of those things. I think it's mainly my INI file is not set up for a keyboard. Skyrim VR. Well, Skyrim VR is a different animal, really. There are certain things that will work in regular Skyrim that won't work in VR, and so that's something to keep in mind. There are a lot of really good forums for Skyrim VR. I was thinking about, getting an Oculus or whatever and trying to run Skyrim VR, but I couldn't see spending $300, to go get an Oculus to play a game that I'm already playing on a 34-inch widescreen. Hey, going my own way. That wasn't good. Nope, not good at all.
Surrender, or don't. You're dead either way. Worse!
Oh, is it your turn?
Lesson learned. It's too late to hide, so you better start running.
I hear more bad guys. Oh yeah. Hey, I blocked that. Can't swing a weapon in here. He was firing like glass arrows at me.
You can't challenge me. That's your best? No escape now.
You tell him, girl. How about we go with some daggers instead? I started off with Morrowind. That was what got me hooked. It's difficult to go from Skyrim back to Morrowind because the graphics just, I mean, even with Open MW and a lot of the other things, it just doesn't really compare. Especially like the combat. Am I going in circles? Not really. Yeah, slide tackle that guy.
I'll grant you a worthy demand.
We got lots of bad guys. Bigger weapon. Uh-oh, drink a potion. Take out this archer. Oh, we got lots of bad guys. Come on, take him out. Take him out. Take him out. Good, he's done. Take these guys out too.
Feisty,
One
aren't
at a
you?
time. We'll loot that while we're here. Alright, let's go this way. There's more. What's back here? Spider!
Like the bite of a...
What was that you were firing at me, buddy?
Worse! Oh, I'm sorry. Was that supposed to hurt?
Oh, there's a bunch of little spiders. Who's firing all the spiders at me? We better do something about this. Yeah, MCO is huge. Yeah, the thing about Morrowind is if you want to really... They had spears, they had throwing weapons, throwing knives.
Run, and I
They
might
had,
not
they
chase
had
you.
lots of things that got taken out in Oblivion, and people really miss that. And things like levitation, and some of the mechanics are kind of broken, so you can exploit them pretty good. No more bad guy? No more bad guy. Let's go to the next.
Masterful.
Alright, now we can go down. That was over here somewhere, wasn't it? There it is. Well, the grass is infinite, but it's still got to change from,
Should be
you
set.
know, the LOD to the full model. Almost gonna light you up. The rat.
Making an art of triggering traps.
Go get him, dogs.
You called that a hit? Yeah.
Be good, doggy. Somebody out there you want to bite?
Is that your best? You lack technique.
Don't let that guy hit you. He's tough. You could join one of the great houses. Yes, you could. And you actually had to become orator of all of the great houses to complete the main quest. And a member of all the Ashlander tribes, right?
Okay.
That guy's big.
I'll grant you a worthy demise.
Somebody's still shooting at us over here.
Clear of sight.
We still got bad guys over here. Oh, bunch of bad guys. Where are the bad guys? I don't know where they are. Medallion's humming. You missed that? Yeah, we got bad guys all over up there. That's the way we dropped in. That's the way we need to go. Probably this way. Get some weapons better suited for, there's a bow and arrow left there. That makes me think
Clear
we might
sight.
want this. Oh, look. Somebody left some axes here.
Tightly locked? Not for long.
Dyna Fire was always my favorite Telvanni. He's a kind of a weirdo. And you got to meet the last of the Dwemer down in his corpusarium. Just a bunch of green goo everywhere. What about your eyes and your ears? I guess we're going this way. Mushrooms. Go get them, dog. I don't know what she's freaking out about. Harley. Angel! Yeah, I got the Dreadweave axes. What are you going on about? Huh? Come here. What are you going on about? Who's out there? Oh my gosh. Gotta get off the cord, dog. Otherwise you're messing up my headphones. You are such a weirdo. You're such a weirdo. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Okay, you need to go lay down. Be good. Guard the house. Go. Crazy. It's like almost 9 o'clock. Why is the dog freaking out? You know, that's what I want to know. Come on, bring it on, bud. I'll bash you and then cut you. You don't say. Faded diary. Another dream of Red Mountain erupting. People running as flaming rocks the size of cantons fell from the sky. I still see my brother's outstretched arm as he tried to reach the Silstrider and walked right out into the boiling waters. Not just Varden fell, all of Morrowind was hit by the rocks. There's no work, no food will grow under the ashes. We're going to try for Skyrim. Dun, 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 dun. Well, yeah, they didn't. Well, they made it to Skyrim. Yeah, he a big old fat guy who built a device that kind of like spider legs. And he was down in the corpusarium. And you actually have to talk to him about the disappearance of the Dwemer. That guy.
What are you hiding?
Yogrum or something like that. So you actually get to meet the last living Dwemer. And talk with him. Yeah, that's the only one in that game. Here we have another ghostly person. We can't pick up our journal? Okay. Bargram, was that his name with a B? I thought it was with a Y. It was something like that.
Smooth moves.
I got your smooth moves.
Tricky little contraption.
That's what we want, right?
Not impressed.
Just relax. It'll come out. Yeah, well, you get Corpus, but... And just like Bargram, you are pretty much made immortal by having Corpus. Yargram Bargram. Oh, okay, yeah. So it did start with a Y. I was correct in my recollection. So, we need to save the game because we just picked up the crown. And then we're going to do this and find our way out of here. Show me the way to return to Vex. It is not showing me the way. He's like, screw you, find your way out on your own. Like, screw you guys, I'm going home. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not showing me how the way out. Well, maybe I can do this instead. That's not showing us the way either. It's increasing our illusion magic though. Good thing I kind of remember the way. Yeah, it's not doing boo for me. I hate it when it doesn't do boo. Yeah, I may see the Morrowind that I have installed currently is kind of a combination of I bought it on Steam again, and then I have a version that I was playing off of CD, so it's kind of a combination of those two. So some of those mods are way back from 2004, 2005, so there's probably updates for them, and that might be part of the issue with that mod or that game installation. So I may just download a fresh copy from Steam and start over with that one. There's the bear. That's worth mining. But yeah, I haven't played that game in so long, it would be an interesting one to play again. I'm also thinking of, I have copies of all of my Oblivion mods, 7-zipped. So it might be a good idea for me to upload those to the Nexus also. Just so that they're never lost. Okay, this is the other place that requires a key. This place here requires a key. So both of these are Forgotten Dungeons. But both of those are part of quest mods, so I need to figure out. Yes, and that's what I'm thinking of too. Find one of the more recent ones, like it was updated in 2022 or 2023, and try to run with that. You know, with all of the updates. Sky Oblivion? There were certain things that I did in Sky Oblivion that I did not do for Skyrim. One of them was dual flaming. I don't know, if you played Morrowind, you would be familiar with True Flame and Hope's Fire. If you played Morrowind and played the Mournhold expansion called Tribunal and killed Almalexia, then you would know what Hope's Fire looks like. Anyhow, I really like that sword. So when I made Nico's scimitars, which are based on her hand scimitars, I made a blue flaming version of it that you could dual wield, and then wrote scripts that somebody who writes scripts better than me refined. Thank you very much. So basically you had dual flaming swords that when you sheath them turned up as crossed weapons on your back that weren't flaming anymore. The flames would go out when you sheathed them. Well, look up what Hope's Fire looks like in Morrowind, and you'll understand where I got the idea for a blue flaming Nico scimitar. Is that a bird up there? Is that what we're looking at? We're looking at the bird? Alright, I guess so.
Did you hear something?
If you'll excuse me, you look like you could use a drink. What do you say to some cheap mead? Remember, keep this to yourself.
No, I didn't want to close that door. I wanted to open this door. Well, Almalexia, I actually made a statue of Almalexia for Oblivion also, where I had her floating like she is in, and I had her doing the thing with her hand too. She's like doing the whatever with her hand. Let's go talk to Vex. And then we're going to have gems coming out our Katootie. of X. There you are.
If you're looking for extra work, talk to
Ready
Vex
for
or
some
Del.
work, or are you just gonna wander around all day?
I'm gonna wander around, but I got something.
I found the crown of Berenzia.
I knew you had it in you. After all, finding the stones was no easy feat. Well, I'm not one to welch on a deal, so here's your reward. Hope you put it to good use. I know I have. You think you're finished? I've got plenty more where that came from.
Yeah. So you say. Let's go take a look at what the crown looks like, huh? Great for smithing. What Prowler's Profit? I just want to go see the crown.
Ha! It's good to see you in one piece, lass.
Yeah, Johnny Skyrim did a nice job on this. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 12 over here would make 24. Where'd the 25th one come from? Because there's only 24.
Well, if you don't want to hear it, that's your loss. If I wanted to hear a told tale, I'd read a children's storybook. Get some better stories, Vipper.
4 women on the same night. That's what we would call a slut.
Hey! I want to talk to you.
Yeah, too bad I'm leaving. Yeah, Johnny Skyrim, Berenzia.
Okay. You're pretty tough. I respect that. Bringing in a lot of coin for the guild. Making us look good, too. Let me know if you need anything. Okay? Go and pick some fights.
Well, you can pick a fight or you can pick your nose, but
What do you want?
you can't pick your friend's nose. Oh, these are the ravens. That is definitely a raven beak. That would be one of the crows. So yeah, we have crows and ravens in our game. Because that's a crow. See the pointy little beak? Crow. See big meat-ripping beak? That's a raven. And I don't know if you can tell, but that raven has one extra pinion feather than the crow. Because the difference between a crow and a raven is a matter of opinion. Oh, no. Actually, they make a different sound too, but their beaks are different. That sound that you heard, the cawing, would be a crow. Although that's a raven. They are big. Do a little roof climbing here. A little roof hopping. There's a bunch of them up here. These are the ravens. These are hail monsters. Ravens. That little bird there is from Birds of Skyrim. Can we climb up on this thing? Nope. You love ravens? Well, ravens are pretty smart too. Let's find out where we're going next, because we just completed that one. That is... We can't really do that because we can't get back in there because we're not a vampire. Sky shards. We have 89 out of 108. We could always do Worm's Tooth. We could do some random stuff. Pine Moon. Wow. Okay, Pine Moon's way up here. Where is Pine Moon? There's Pine Moon. We haven't been there, Clear Pine, yet. So we need to go to Dragon's Bridge. We got a ways to go. Oh, you were talking about the grass popping in. I'll show you how it does the same thing on my game here. So, you want to go to Solstheim? Alright, we'll go north. We'll go up to Solstheim instead. We'll go find out about Murek. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the grass too well here. Probably not. Let's get a little elevation. Do a little skydiving. There's the Ayleid Palace. Hey, look at that. Bonus. Oh, we did it too soon. We got there though. Give me the sky shard. Gimme, 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 gimme. Love that. I like having a forest. Chib, you missed one. Saint Jib the Eradicator.
Someone do something.
God rays and sky shards. Yeah, sorry, but that's pretty freaking epic right there. Come on, dragon. Okay, cool. Well, if you're getting into changing out, you know, certain files, you'll get there. Back through Kynes Grove. It's raining. Better put a hood on. Alright. Well, let's go see if we can get a boat ride, huh? That would be up this way. My computer must be doing something in the background. I'm getting a little lag spikes. I got your lag spike. Jordan Sparks said, one step at a time. There's no need to rush. Yeah, you'll get there. Pretty soon you'll be going, yeah, I just cleared 1,000 mods. I mean, you're already like halfway there. Just one more mod. Just one more mod. And an artiste. Well, it depends on what kind of art she does.
Sorry, but I'm not looking to hire any more.
$3.95, but who's counting? Well, apparently you are. I have double that many, well, almost double
I'm a sailor on the North Wind.
that
We're
many
laying over in
ESL files. Almost. Got over 700 ESLs. Love the horns and the feathers.
The
Very
Nords
cool.
don't appreciate us, but so what? I don't appreciate them right back.
I don't think that boat's even here right now, is it? He's walking around barefoot, huh?
Another day, another septum.
Oh, they are here. Because these are the guys right here.
Talk to Captain Gowland if you're looking to book passage.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore.
What happened? Why won't you go back?
It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the
Cathedral flowers,
masks coming
dirt
on
cliffs.
board. Then,
Oh yeah,
the
and
next thing I
also-
remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim.
Not me, I don't know how to count.
Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there.
I'm gonna beat you up.
People are trying to kill me. I'm not taking no for an answer.
Hold on now. I'm just a simple sailor. I never wanted to get mixed up in any of this. All right, I'll take you. But we leave immediately.
Just a simple sailor. Is his last name Moon? Sailor Moon? Dynalot successfully initialized. Oh, this is far different than the vanilla game.
Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
Well, my granddaughter always tries to correct me anyway. Sailor Moon's your favorite anime? I figured you would know what Sailor Moon was.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions.
I'm looking for Mirak. Do you know him?
Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions?
You know who Mirak is?
I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it.
And I have a few Sailor Moon things in your collection.
Can you tell me anything about him?
I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. Giolan, I was starting to wonder what happened to you.
We were delayed by bad weather. Before you even ask, yes, have the supplies you requested.
Oh, the weather is atrocious. So let's go up here and see if we can get out of town. Wait until morning.
Here in his shrine, that they have forgotten.
Here do we toil.
Oh, it'll look better once
That
I get out
we
of this
might remember.
storm. Yeah. Kicking ash.
By night we decline.
You like the weather? I can't see where the
What
heck
by
I'm
day
going.
was stolen,
This is nighttime.
far from ourselves.
Far from ourselves. What by day was stolen. Sounds almost like a Dunmer with like an English accent. Certified
That
ass
seems inadvisable. Oh well, fascinating. I touch it. Ah, so you are able to resist the...
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here?
Now through
I'm looking
them
for someone
does
named
he
Mirak.
speak.
Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirak's been dead for thousands of years.
The world shall see.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there.
That they have forgotten.
Are we done? I thought so.
And hell out this funny.
Here do we toil.
We can actually summon
That we might remember.
that should be the different ash plume, but that looks like the old ash plume. Because I actually changed that out.
By night we
Ah, very careful. Fascinating.
Is it gonna cook those for me? Nope. Rudy has a better ash plume, by the way. You were gushing over Rudy's stuff. Let's go see if we can see the better ash plume. Yes, you told me that. Because somebody used an earlier version of the game to create the so yeah, I don't think that's the old plume. Why don't I have the new plume? We're going to fix that. We've been going just over an hour. No crashing, so that's good. So after we save here, I'll show you what we're going to go grab. And I'm surprised I don't have it installed. Rudy Ash. No. There's a parallax add-on for it. Did you know that? Here. So let's look for ash. I got your ash pipe. Oh. Mods, download history, ash. All right, let's look for plume. This is the one I was looking for. Turning the textures purple, that's a missing texture. This is the one. Because that is freaking phenomenal. That's the vanilla one. That's the Rudy with glow. Rudy red. I kind of like the Rudy glow one. So yeah, we're grabbing that. Seven versions to choose from. 3 texture resolutions. Oh my gosh. So this would be a faux mod. Download it. Give me this. Dump that on the desktop. So let me pull up my desktop. Go to installers. Purple or stretched? Well, stretched would be wrong mesh. Purple would be missing texture. So if it's the wrong mesh, past your bedtime. All right, Ireshot. Save those links. You're going to want them. It gave you more homework. So Rudy HQ, let's get down to R. Rudy HQ. I did have it installed. Wonder why it got overwritten. File, delete. Let's reinstall it. We want the plume with glow. We want the, give me the 2K version. Do it. Good night, Ireshot. So what didn't it install? It installed the meshes, textures. It didn't skip anything. And nothing is missing. All right. That should be it. So let's throw a save here. And then we're going to reload this. Well, we're going to have to quit out to desktop and reload it. But I want my plume back. Damn it. I want my plume back. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on getting my Morrowind up and running. Widescreen with better textures and better meshes and updated versions of mods I'm running. Like Death's Doorstep and Expanded Balmora and some of the other ones I really liked. See if I can get my Moogles back. Anybody remember Moogles? We should probably play as a Moogle. I think that'd be great. And if you don't know what a Moogle is, Google it. M-O-O-G-L-E. Moogle. In Morrowind. And what's cool is they can wear armor. And use all the weapons. And they have wings. They kind of look like an anime cat. Sort of. Be good, Wagglebutt. You've already had your treats. Oh, quit your whining. I hear you back there. Oh my gosh, really? Well, come here and say hi then. Come on. Come here. Come on up. Come on. Okay, hi. Why are you back there whining? What's going on with you? What's going on with you? We're not going anywhere tonight. We'll go tomorrow. Okay? Time for you to be good. You have puppy breath. Yeah, you have puppy breath. Need to feed you, like, breath mint. Okay, I still don't have my plume. So I don't know what's up with that. Whatever. We'll figure that out later. I'm not doing anything with it right now. But that should be a different plume. And it's not. Uh-oh. Are we crashing? We're crashing right there. Okay, why did that do that? Is it because I'm changing files mid-game? Maybe. No crash log. Oh, that's not good. All right, we're going to take a look one more time at this. It may require me rerunning my bash patch too. Go lay down. Be good, doggy. Angel, be good. Shaders, textures, 7 versions. Compatible with red mountain plume visible from Skyrim. Optional lava on the mountain far to fell. All right, I'm going to have to check up on the dogs here pretty soon. 'Cause I don't know what they're going on about. What was the name of that? More dramatic? Crasher, no crashing. Yeah. Panther. Panther, no panther. I'm going swimming. Dogs in the past and why I prefer cats so much quieter. Yeah. Cats have catitude. I like the dogs. They let me know if anybody's out there. Would that be under Rudy? Rudy? Yes. So I've got 2 different versions here. One from 4.15 and one from 824. So let's go with the latest version of that. Let's extract that. All right. Plume, glow, animated, NIF. That's the plume. All right. So we're going to need to look in Meshes DLC2 Sky. So let's look in Data, Meshes, DLC2 Sky. That's the wrong plume. Well, we're going to copy this one into that. And then we're going to check it out. That's the right plume. So I wonder why it got overwritten. We've got an HD one here too. Oh, I like the HD one. So that's the HD. This is the game files. All right, don't mess with Nico because I'll do a frickin' manual, baby. Textures, terrain, DLC, Soulsime. That's the lava flow. Alrighty. Let's do a little house cleaning. Fired up. That should look a lot better. We'll see. So we had one crash. What have we going? Hour and 20 minutes. But no crash log. So if it doesn't show up in game this time, I'm going to have to rerun. It must be getting overwritten by my Bast patch. It's the only thing I can think. So hold on to your butts. Here we go. Well, it's pretty warm in here. Gotta wait till it cools down so I can actually sleep. Continue. So let's check out what that plume looks like. And if it crashes again, then I'm going to call it. Because that means I got to do a little maintenance work with rerunning Bash Patch, which takes about 7 minutes and is incredibly boring to watch. There's my plume. That looks so much better. That's what I wanted. I got my plume back. Sleep is overrated. I agree. Death is highly overrated. Yes. That's what the, I think we might have some spiders. They look like spider layer. No? These are kind of a kickback to Morrowind also. You had these beetles running around, blow fire at you. Yeah, that, you know, seeing that off in the distance, that's a volcano now. Right?
I can take you.
Oh, can you?
Not quite good enough.
Silence.
Nice boots you got there.
Malachi, thank you.
You're an ugly one.
By Eastmere! Won't get away with that!
Quiet.
Then we'll go back and take out the cow.
Yeah!
Got him. Yeah, as I was saying, now it actually looks like a volcano. And that's just, it's Rudy's mesh for the plume, and then the other one is the lava. They're recommended to go together. I dig it. Instead of a chimney. Yeah, I mean that looks more like an erupting volcano. Wouldn't you agree? And it kind of breathes. You know, you can see it like flares up. So Rudy did a great job with that. And if you run Nat 3 weathers, you'll get the floating bits of burning ash dropping down.
Ha! Yeah.
Not a sound.
Yeah.
Taking out bugs. What are you thinking Bethesda for? For the chimney? So apparently that tree is a different size now. This is where the Black Bow of Fate is. Should we go check that out?
Victory shall elude your grasp.
The lackluster chimney. Yes. Thanks, Bethesda. Thank you, Easter Bethesda.
Can't see me.
Watch your language. A little Dwemer ruin diving.
Maybe we should come back with more men. We don't know how many of those things will come out.
Nonsense.
Some of these Nords will come up with any excuse to
kill them,
despise us.
and the treasure of Kagramers will be ours.
Huh? No! How dare you!
That's how I dare. Conjure Clantfear. That's a good one. This guy's got Stalrim on. How many things? Agreed. He had a Daedric mace too. Well, we could take all the Stalrim stuff. Leave him there in his boxer shorts. Alright. So it looks like center and bottom right.
Covert. Slow and steady.
So I got two more. Another ballista.
Treading with caution.
Couple more. well, start with something small. Start with something like a, maybe just doing a retexture. And then go from there. Have a little dwarven metal. And take a look at how other things were made. So we need to find another one. So I would say get yourself NIF scope and get yourself GIMP. Those are two must-haves, and that would be the place to start. And there's a lot of things you can do with NIF scope just by copy pasting. So here, I'll give you an example. You see the bow on my back? That's Tariel's bow that I made. Let's add some feathers to it. Would that be cool? PC's over 14 years old. I don't think you need better hardware to mod. You might need better hardware to play at higher graphical settings, but not to mod. There was a really great modder who basically created Oblivion Mod Manager, and he went by the name Timeslip. And he also did Fake HDR, which was a post-process shader. I mean, we have that same shader, or one that's very similar to that, Boris has in ENB for adding HDR effects to ENB. But back with Oblivion, if you were running an NVIDIA card, you had a choice. You could either get anti-aliasing or you could get HDR. You couldn't get both at the same time because of how the graphics cards were rendering things. Now, AMD at the time could do both. So us NVIDIA graphics card guys were kind of bummed. But then Fake HDR came out, and we were able to get Fake HDR with anti-aliasing in Oblivion back in 2007. You know, and that was huge. But I started tweaking the code for Fake HDR. So I've been playing with shaders way back since 2007, tweaking. Basically, they're just numerical values in an INI file, and I'm tweaking the values. And some people came in and they helped me out. They told me what the different values did, and that helped me tweak it better to make it even better. But Timeslip came onto my thread where I was talking about this on Bethesda's forums, and he actually said, hey, you know, if I had better hardware that could render these, I could see it better. So he was happy that I was running a 7800 GTX at the time, which for that time was a pretty beefy graphics card, right? Nowadays that's garbage, but back then it was pretty beefy. And so he was happy that I was actually, you know, willing to do the trial and error and find some good settings for everybody. Okay, we're doing a mod. Tutorial time, so pay attention. First thing we need to do is save the game. Anyhow, neat little story about Timeslip from many, many moons ago. Nice guy and very smart. Very smart. But yeah, when you look at Boris and the fake HDR shaders and stuff that he's using, they're based on stuff that was done by Timeslip back in 2006, 2007. Okay. So we are going to play around in NIF scope is what we're going to do. We don't even need to open a modeling program. We don't need to do anything like that. We're going to find that bow, which is in data, meshes, weapons, and then it should be under Tariel's bow. And then this is arrow, projectile. Okay, so this is Tariel's bow. That's the bow model I made. So it's already rigged, has skinning information, it has collision, and the bone structure is also included here. So looking at this, the collision is the yellow. Here, I'll make it bigger. We'll turn that back on. So this yellow box here is the collision for the bow. If you ever want to make more accurate collision, you can click on the mesh and you can right click and go to Havoc. It'll say Havoc. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Probably because it's skinned. If it's not skinned, you can do it. I'll show you on a different model. Anyhow, we'll turn that off so we can see it. The green is the actual bone structure from Bethesda. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some So I'm wondering which would be the top. That's a good question. So I'm not sure which end of this is the top. So I may have to do this more than once. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make this a smaller window. So it only takes half of our screen. No, smaller window. Half the screen. There we go. And then we're going to go to File. And we're going to say New Window. This is the only way to open two windows at the same time. Now we're going to File, Open, some kind of feather. So let's go to Meshes. Where would that be? Probably under Clutter, or might be under Ingredient. So let's look at I don't think we have Ingredient in here. So let's find Clutter. Clutter. Banners, Black Reach, Blacksmith, Bones, Books, Candles, Carts, Caves. Do we have anything under F? We have Food, Floral. We might be able to put a flower on it. These are wreaths. Lanterns, Lumber Mill, Kinnereth, Meadery, Maroons. But you can go through all these and you can find what you're looking for most of the time. Let's go up one more. Let's just type in feather. See what it comes up with. Feathered wings. Kiwi feathers. Hanging feather dark purple. Feathers NIF. Feathers 2. Let's open file location. It's in Dragon Griffin feathers. So let's take a look at that. So that looks like it's like 3 feathers. It's all one mesh. What is this red thing here? That's the collision. That is terrible collision. Okay, so we're not worried about that, but we are worried about the feathers. So that's a BS tri-shape, right? We're going to right click on it, we're going to go to block, and we're going to go copy branch. And then we're going to right click over here, we're going to go block, and we're going to go paste branch. And what do you know? Now there's feathers on that bow, but look at how huge they are. So we're going to go to transform down at the bottom, and we're going to go to edit. And we're going to change the scale. So let's make the scale 0.02. That's still pretty small. 0.2 is a little bit bigger than I want. So how about we go like 0.1? No. 0.1. Okay, that's pretty good for size. And do we want to hang those? Where do we want to hang those feathers? We could hang them off the top here, or we could hang them somewhere in here. How about we hang them kind of in the front? So we're going to grab these and we're going to move them around. So we can move them up. We can move them over. We can spin them around. So all we're doing is we've got 3 different rotations, and you've got X, Y, and Z axis, basically. That's pretty good. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. And we can see where they're at. So we kind of want to go down a little bit. Okay, now they're in the middle of the bow. And they're kind of in front of the hand, but they're not touching here yet. So let's go back up until they're actually connected to the bow. Let's tilt them a little bit. That's not the tilt we want. That's not the tilt we want. Okay, so that gives you an idea. I mean, you can put them wherever you want, but that kind of gives you an idea. Now, here's the important part. These aren't linked to this model yet. So under the BS fade node, which is line 0, you'll see things that are called children down here. One of them is the bow, mid-bone, and the other one is the Tariel's bow. Now Tariel's bow, line 15, is the actual mesh of the bow. And then if we look at the other one that's here, which is 5, that would be the bone structure. So that is this bone. and the other bones are connected to this bone. So that is the root bone of the bone structure. So we need to connect these feathers, which are line 21. So we'll come up here to BS Fade node, and where it says number of children 2, we'll double click that and change it to 3. Then we'll go to this little recycle symbol here, and we'll click on that, and that gives us another line. So now we've changed it from having 2 children to having 3 children. And we know that the one that we want to add is line 21. So we come back up here, double click on this, add line 21. Okay, we're done. So you can go up here to spells, sanitize, and say reorder blocks. That'll move things around to where they need to be. And then we're going to go, let's just file save it. Okay, so now our bow has feathers. That may not be on the top. If it's not on the top, we'll flip it and put them on the other side. But let's see what that looks like in game. And we just added feathers to that bow using 2 different models and copy pasting from one onto the other. And that's really, when you start modding, you start with simple things like that. And you can go from there. So let's go into game and we'll take a look at that bow. And we'll see where those feathers are. And see if we like it. Then I'll tell you what, then we're going to go and change the color of the feathers. That's another really simple thing to start with, is retexturing. And when you think about retexturing, you have to understand that there's a texture map. Okay. And I'll show you how to get the texture map. And you can overlay the texture map over the texture, and that'll tell you where to paint so that it shows up in the game. It's a fun journey, it really is. And when you start making things that you're using in your own game, there's no feeling like it in the world, really. To go, wow, I made that, and now it's in my game, and my character's running around just slaughtering everybody with this sword I made. Or check out these cool feathers I added to this bow. Even if I didn't make the feathers and I didn't make the bow, I added the feathers to the bow, right? So it's something unique that my game has that nobody else has. And that's what makes it special. And it's something that I did. You know, I put those there. I wanted those right there. So that's where I put them. The only thing with a bow is it looks the same on the top and the bottom, so they may be on the bottom. But if that's the case, we'll open it back up and we'll fix it. And hang them from the other side. And a lot of it's trial and error. Okay, so do you see the feathers on that bow? I think they're on the wrong side. So, let's take a look. Yep, they're on the bottom. They're not on the top. So they're hanging on the wrong side. And I'll tell you what, we're going to hang them all the way from the top edge when we change it. I don't like them that close to her hand. Okay. Let's just Alt-Tab. We're going to do it like this. We're going to open up. Let me pull up my files. Data. Meshes. Weapons. Tariel's bow. Tariel's bow. So this is actually the bottom, right? So let's shut off collision so we can see. And we're going to hang these from the top of the bow. So the top of the bow is over here. So let's grab that. We're going to right click. We'll go to transform, edit. So that brings up this little window. And then we can start moving stuff. Let's go down this way. Let's turn this around. We're just going to spin it all the way around. Well, I'm teaching you how to mod. I'd rather teach a man to fish than give him a fish, right? Because if you teach a man to fish, he can feed himself. Should we hang these all the way from the top? Yeah, let's hang them all the way from the top, and let's move them all the way to one side too. Okay, so those are all the way on one side now. Here, we'll do this so you can get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm working with these feathers, and I want to hang them from here. So I moved them all the way to one side. And they're kind of tilted out a little bit, which is good. We may even want to tilt them out a little bit more. Just so they're sticking out a little bit. And let's drop them down a hair. No, down a hair. There we go. Alrighty. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the texture. We're going to make these a different color. They match too well now. We're going to make them something bright. So we're going to click on that. We're going to say accept on this. And we're going to go here to the texture set. And it says textures, Mahale monsters and animals, feathers, DDS. So let's go there. Data, textures, Mahale monsters. So we're actually going to make a copy, and we're going to make our own texture. And then it's under feathers. What's it under? Mahale monsters and animals. Griffin feathers. So that would be... How come I don't see Griffin here? Dragon, Griffin, feathers. Dragon, Griffin. So we are going to copy the one that says feathers. Do I have a feathers? I have eye, hair, claws, one, feathers. Okay, so he's got two files here. We're actually going to grab both of those and we're going to copy them. And we're going to paste them. So now they say copy, right? Feathers copy and feathers copy. And We don't need this one because we're going to reuse the same normal map. So delete. And feathers copy is what we're going to change this to. So data, textures, my hail monsters, and animals. Dragon, griffin, 1, feathers copy. Exactly how I came across my channel late at night. Okay, so now we're using that. And now we can go in here and we can change the color of this. So if we double click it, it's going to open it up in GIMP. Right? So these are the feathers. We can make them a little bigger so that they're a little easier to see. The colors are pretty good on them. But let's change the colors. So if we go into colors, we can change the hue and saturation. So let's change the hue. Should we make them like a bright green? I kind of like the green blue. And let's add a little more saturation. We'll make them a little brighter. And make them a little darker. Or should we go really bright? We'll make them like that. And then what we're going to do, we'll say OK. And then we're going to go to select. And we're going to go to color. And we're going to click on the white. And we're going to go is it actually selecting the white? Select by color. Draw eyedropper. We'll go on that and we'll select the white. And then we're going to go edit fill with the foreground color, which is, oh, that selected the whole thing. Edit, undo. So we don't want to do that. We want to, okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Well, we can paint. Why don't we paint? So we're going to take the size of this and make it smaller. Five. How big is 5? Okay, that's pretty small. We want to go even smaller. Give me my tool back. Give me my tool. You're not giving me my tool. You kidding me, man? Where's my tool? It's not giving me my tools. No, we don't want to do that. All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to, because I can't get my darn tool back, we're going to quit out of this. And no, we're not going to save. We're going to reopen this, get my tool back. That did not give me my tool back. Why did that not give me my tool back? Is it because I detached it? I don't know what I did. Edit, undo, Images. That's the image. I want my tool. So it put my tool over here. I'm not sure why. I can't drag it back over there. So it switched which side it was on, which messes me up a little bit, but not too bad. So we'll go to 3. I want to zoom in on this. Wonder how I get this back over there. I just messed up all my tools, man. Tools. Do I have a default setup? I don't have a default setup. It's killing me. Another puzzle, yes. Well, I know it's here somewhere. So those are other textures that I've opened. That's different brushes. Paintbrush. That's my zoom in and zoom out. We want to zoom in. We want to go back to paintbrush. We're going to paint on this. And we want to use that color. Paint. What has it got me going here? Hardness is 100. But it's not painting on. I want to be on that. I'm not sure why it's not letting me paint on it. Let's go back to colors. We're just going to change the hue and saturation for right now. We're going to go back to our blue-green. File, save. Oh, you don't want to save. You want to file export. Otherwise it won't do it as a DDS. And you can put whatever, if you want to save it as a JPEG, just add JPG behind it. All right, so we've actually changed that. And that's this, our feathers copy. So if we reload this, we need to save it. And then we need to reload it. It should be purpley blue. There's our blue feathers. That we put on the top. So let's go see what that looks like in game. I wonder if we can get it just by reloading. Let's just try to reload that. I may have to quit all the way out to desktop and then come back in, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll have to quit all the way out because that's still the other feathers. I'm wondering why it reset my stupid... I'll never get everything perfect. But it's fun to try. I'm wondering why I've got my tools on the wrong side. Images window. Layers, channels, paths, color map. All right, there's my brushes. I want this. It says paintbrush. Selection tools, paint tool. Those are just the different tools. Transform tools, pass, text. Where's the default? Where's my default view? View. I'm not sure how I messed up my tools. I'll figure that out in a minute. Let's go check out our blue feathers. Geometry. Geometry is important. Okay, so therein lies the problem with attaching feathers to something that's rigged. You see where they're at? Now watch when I release the arrow. Now look where they are. Right where they need to be. But because the bow morphs, they're not on the bow. Don't mind elaborating a bit how it's important. I used it a lot. And trigonometry, trigonometric functions and things like that. Sine, cosine, tangent. Things like a 3, 4, 5 triangle. If I needed to create something, if I had a flat wall and I needed to create something 90 degrees off of that flat wall to draw a line that was completely perpendicular to the wall, I would draw a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So if one side is 3 units, the other side is 4 units, the hypotenuse will be 5 units. And that will give you a 90-degree angle. So that's a, I think that's more of a trigonometric function thing, right? Things like figuring out the circumference of a circle, which was important in my line of work because I was making things like squared arounds and things like that. And I would lay them out just from a plan view. Plan view is looking from the top down. And you would look at the circle, right, that's on the top, and the square that's on the bottom, and you could see the distance out, and you knew how tall it was. So now you have a triangle, how far up and how far out. Now you could draw a true length triangle for how long that side needs to be when you were laying it out. Because I was making ductwork, I was laying things out like that. If you're figuring out the wrapper length of an OG offset, the formula for that is 4 times the square root of L squared plus O squared minus L over 3. So math is important. Another thing is I used a lot Pythagorean's theorem. You know, A squared B squared equals C squared when you're talking about triangles. Very important thing too. You'd be amazed. You see them everywhere, but in construction, we used them all the time. And going's right. Well, I did modding and teaching. I wrote a couple of books too. So I'm a published author also. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in a lot of different things. So me being interested in a lot of different things means I know a lot about a lot of different things. Plus I'm old. I've been around a long time. And I never want to stop learning. So as long as you keep learning, you'll keep growing. Well, true. Okay, well, look at it this way. If I buy something for $18.87 and I pay with a $20 bill, how much change do I get back? So you figure $8.87, 3 cents would make it $8.90. 10 cents onto that would make it $19. So $1 and what's that? 3 and 10, right? $1.13. So you're counting backwards. You're counting change back. That's math. That's basic math, but it's math. And you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do that. They instinctively go for their calculator. I do a lot of math things in my head. I'll estimate things. I'll do math, and I learned this playing darts, right? If you hit a trip 18, how much is a trip 18? Well, you have to know if you're playing darts, right? So are you going to go, okay, well, 18, 18, 18, 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 16, carry the 1. No, that's the slow way to do it. The fast way to do it would be, well, I know that 3 times 20 is 60. And I know the difference between 20 and 18 is 2. So 2 times 3 is 6, right? So if I have 60 minus 6, I have 54. And there's your answer. So you're working it backwards. But again, it's math, but you're doing the math in your head. So you can figure out a trip, like if you hit a trip 16, you know that 3 times 15 is 45. So add 3, 48. There's your answer. Simple math, but You know, if you're playing 501 or, 301 playing darts, you need to do the math fast and you need to do it in your head. You don't have a calculator. Agreed. So I have a saying that I say that every day I learn something new is a good day. It is. Well, they don't teach you math like that. They're trying to teach you new math, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I teach logical math, but in a way that is you can use in everyday life, and you're going to use in everyday life. Meshes, weapons. I need to get rid of those feathers. They're not going to work. And we're going to go to Tariel's bow. And we're going to go directly to that, and we're going to go block, remove branch. Okay, so now it's no longer there. File, save. We can go up into the BS fade node where it, okay, so now it's back to 2 children. So that's perfect. It's not at 3 anymore. Anytime you can make learning fun, people are more inclined to stay involved. I tutored gunsmithing for quite a few years. Agreed. Well, and that's the thing. People, I have people they'll hit me up on PM and go, hey, I've got this really interesting idea for a mod that I want to do, but there's no way I could ever learn to do what you do, Would you be interested in making it? And I tell them, no, that's what you want. That's not what I want. And it does take time to create something, right? So either you're too lazy to spend the time to make what you really want, or you don't want it that bad, or you have some preconceived notion that you can never learn to do what I do. Well, guess what? I'm a dumb construction worker. At least that's what I did, right? I work construction. I work with my hands. I didn't work on computers. I didn't work, I was never formally trained in 3D modeling or texturing or anything. You see, I get lost sometimes just messing with GIMP. I'm like, okay, where did my brushes go? But here's the thing. When I'm off camera, I will go and Google, okay, how do I reset my default, layout for GIMP? And I'll find the answer and I'll reset it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then guess what? It's a good day. I learned something new, right? Now I know how to reset it. Do I know everything? No. I am ignorant of a great many things in life, but ignorance is not a problem. Stupidity is a problem. All right? Stupidity is hereditary. Ignorance just means that you don't know, but you have the ability to learn it. So I will admit that I am ignorant of a great many things in life. Just means I have a lot more I can learn. But I'm smart enough to learn it, so I'm not dumb. And I don't have a disability that would prevent me from learning. But I think a lot of people's disability when it comes to learning is not that they...
Note to self, be more careful.
It's not that they can't learn. It's that they don't want to put the time and effort into it. And I think that has a lot to do with it. effort. People give up too easily. They don't stick with it. If I had given up, you'd never have these things that I've made in your game. Make as complex parallax, high Hrothgar retext. Okay. Well, it depends on how you want to do it, right? There's two different ways to go about parallax texturing. Are you interested? Do you want to learn? Want me to set you on the right path? That sounds like fun. We'll do that. Let me go back to this. We're gonna save the game right here. I'll do this because I'm getting tired and I'm gonna go to bed soon, but I'll show you this before I sign off here. So let's quit out of this. Okay, there's two different ways that the game handles complex, parallax. There's complex parallax through ENB, and then there's a parallax that's built into the game that requires an _P texture. So there are different kinds of textures. There's the diffuse map, which is an image, right? There's the normal map, which is known as a bump map. That's what gives things bumps, makes it look like parts of it stick higher than other parts. And it's generally a blue, kind of blue-pink texture. And then there is like specular maps, which would be, it's a mask. The more white, the more of the cube map will show through. The more black, the less of the cube map will show through. Cube maps are textures that can wrap all the way around a globe or a cube without seams, so that when the game uses a cube map, it'll actually spin it around, and it's used for reflection using the mask of the specular map. And then you have glow maps. Now glow maps are kind of the same thing. They're a mask. Shapes twice. Shapes. Shape. Geometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with shapes. Yes. And volume. Shapes and volumes. But you'll see shapes in every part of your life. If you want to know how to lay out an oval, a perfect oval, or an ellipse, that's all geometry, where you're coming off of two separate points a certain distance apart, and you're swinging an arc, basically. The easiest way to do it would be to find those 2 points and tie a string in between them that will go up to where the outside of it is, and then put a pencil in that string and follow it around both ways, and then take it to the other side and come around this way. And that will draw a perfect ellipse. Okay, but that's all geometry. You can split a circle into 12 equal parts using geometry. That is correct. You're adding a height map to the alpha channel in the specular map. So I need to, let me do a little bit of research here really quick, because I need to do this so I can actually do this. So we want to go reset tool placement GIMP. How to do a full reset of GIMP, YouTube. Let's watch. 3 minutes.
Welcome to Prime Studios. My name is John, and today I'm going to show you how to reset the user interface in GIMP as well as all the other settings, because something tells me that this has probably happened to you, where you are using GIMP, this free open source software. It's kind of like Photoshop, and maybe you do something like you pull out the tool options for cropping, right? And then you go, okay, well, then I can put them back. If I grab this little thing here and I put it there, you see it goes back. But maybe you didn't do that. Maybe you hit the little red square here and now your options are all gone. And maybe you did the same thing with a bunch of stuff. And maybe even this whole toolbar is gone and you have looked and looked and looked and you have no idea how to reset any of it. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to reset it. Now, first of all, if you don't see this bar up here, you can try hitting F10 on your keyboard and that should bring up the file menu, hypothetically. But where you want to go is Edit. So go to Edit and go down to Preferences. Now in Preferences, in order to reset the user interface specifically, it's actually under here, under Interface and then Window Management. It's this Reset Saved Window Positions to Default Values.
All right, we just learned. Let's try it. So he says it's under Edit, Preferences, and then User Interface, right? Interface, Windows Management, Reset Saved Window Positions to Default Values. Okay. So now it says the next time I open it, it should be at default values. Hey! Well, what do you know about that? So I just learned something new. So that's what happens when I run into a problem like that and I don't know how to solve it. I'll go watch a tutorial or whatever, right? All right, so we're going to open up a few different kinds of textures and take a look at them, right? So we're going to go into our textures folder, which would be under my games, Steam apps. Where's Steam apps? Man, I can't read where the darn. All right, let's go about this a different way. We'll find a texture. And let's find something that's, oh, I don't know, probably under landscape. So we have different maps here. And here you can see this is glacier parallax. This is a normal map. This would be a diffuse map. So what I'm looking for is anything, okay, so this is, let's do this one. That's the ledge. And then we're also going to open the normal map. And then we're also going to open this underscore P. So these are the three. This is the diffuse map. This is the normal map, which would be a bump map. And if you really wanted to see what that looks like, we can add a layer behind it. So we're going to say new layer, and we're going to use the foreground, which is black. And then we're going to take that layer and we're going to drag it to the other side. So this is the actual bump map that's there. So it's easier to see if you drop a black layer behind it. But this is the bump map, the thing that gives it height. And then if you look at, this is the height map, the parallax height map. Now on complex parallax, this will be part of the alpha channel in the, so let's find something that's complex parallax. So that's one way to do it, right? With the regular, well, let's open this up again. I'll tell you what, we're going to throw a black layer behind this too, just so it's easier to see. So we're going to say new layer, and we're going to go with the foreground, which is black. So here's foreground and background. So, and then we're going to drag this behind. So this is the actual texture. And then this is the bump map. And this is the parallax map. And between those three, you can get what you want. If you're doing complex parallax, and it does require, you can't see this because it has transparency. So if I get rid of this layer that I put back there, the black layer, you notice that this texture is mostly transparent. And that's what allows it to have a parallax map that'll show through. Same thing with this is the bump map, but with a black layer behind it. And if we remove that layer, it's almost completely transparent. But that allows this to come through. Still shows up. All right, so let's look at like complex grass. So let's look at grass. And we're going to find a complex grass texture. This is one, I believe. Okay, so with complex grass, you've got the normal map below the diffuse map. So they've taken and changed it from, let's say it's 1024 by 1024, right? And now it's 2048 by 1024 with the normal map below the diffuse map. So this is a complex grass. That's how complex grass is set up. And then it's actually checking this top pixel in the corner to make sure that this is a normal map down here in order to render this. ENB is. So ENB is doing kind of something similar with complex terrain. So let's go into landscape. Let's go into something like what would have complex terrain? I don't know, mountains might. I don't know, these are majestic mountains. I don't know if this is complex terrain. But if we, yeah, that's a complex map there. If we go into layers over here, channels, and we're looking at the different channels. So let's shut off the different channels, and you'll see that the red channel has height, the green channel has height, the blue channel doesn't have very much height, the alpha channel, let's throw a black behind that. Layer, new layer, foreground, okay. So let's go back into layers, dump that behind. We'll go back into this. We'll go back into channels. So that alpha channel is pretty much transparent. Let's look at, I need to find a complex terrain texture. So let's find a complex terrain texture. Highly requested parallax terrain all in one. Let's grab some of those. And we'll take a look at that, the alpha in the, it should be in the _M or _S, which is the, if you look at the mesh, it's going to have an environment map. So it's actually in the environment map mask alpha channel is where he hit it. So let's go ahead and unzip this. And we're going to extract it right to our desktop. And then we're going to take a look at some of these. Come on, open. Landscape. So he's got just Coast Beach N, and a Coast Beach S. Okay, so let's look at those three files just so we can see what we're looking at. So we're going to drag those three right over here. And we're going to look at the Coast Beach. And it will be semi-transparent. So you can see there's transparency here. If we drop a layer behind it that is black, this is what the Coast Beach would look like, the actual texture. So let's delete that. And then let's look at File, Open, the normal map. Again, this is almost completely transparent. But let's drop a layer behind it so we can see it. And you can see that there is a normal map, but it's almost completely transparent. So this is what's going to give it bumps. And let's delete that. And then let's open the one that's important, the _S. So we have Coast Beach 01, Coast Beach N. Where is Coast Beach? So I guess it just has a normal. It doesn't have an S. So let's look at layer channels, and let's look at the different channels. So the height map, I think he's putting it in the red. but the alpha is making that. So that's the like the normal map. Let's just look at the alpha. Yeah, the alpha is, it's almost completely transparent. So let's go back to this one. So that's the alpha map of the diffuse. That may be our height map that we're looking for. Because the alpha isn't, it's not completely white. You know what I mean? Or completely black. Normally alpha would be white or black. But if it's something like this, that's probably our height map that's in the diffuse. At least that's what it looks like. But yeah, you can do it with just a regular diffuse and a normal. So let's open up another one. I want to go into textures, landscape. Let's do field grass. Again, transparency. And let's turn, yeah, the alpha channel is where the height map is in this. That's the alpha channel. That's our height map. And let's look at our normal. And here the alpha is completely black. And like I said, most of the time a normal is either all white or all black. But that's our bump map. Take a look at one more. How about pine forest? And let's look at our alpha there. So that'll be our height map. Let's throw, we're going to throw a black layer behind it. Crap. Oops. Why am I getting that there? Yeah, I got that alpha is completely white. All right, well, we got to do this again. Preferences. Okay, that'll happen the next time we start it up. But anyhow, you get the idea. You can look at textures in GIMP. If you need to see them better, throw a black layer behind them. Be sure and remove the black layer before you save. Okay, delete it, because otherwise you won't get your transparency that you need, right? Like this has transparency. If we look at the channels, that's our height map that's in the alpha channel. And if we look at just the other three together, that's the actual, what the grass is going to look like, right? The actual texture. All right, well, I guess that's about it for today for me. We're going to delete that. So you could go through the High Hrothgar textures and work on them. See what you come up with. Until then, have fun modding. Keep on learning. And I'll probably stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't have to go back to court until Monday. So I'll probably be on tomorrow.